The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah! Go Cowboys! This is the Players Lounge, broadcasting live from Dallas Cowboys World Headquarters at the Star. Now, your hosts, Barry Church, Hek'ma Harrison, and Newy Scruggs.
Players Lounge right here on a Tuesday, the day after Monday Night Football. The Cowboys go down 34-10. Hi, Barry Church, former Cowboy safety. I'm Newy Scruggs.
What's happening?
Show brought to you by Aristocrat Gaming. And producer Chris Beam, do you have our scores from what we predicted? We picked the Texans
Yeah, we did.
to win.
Yeah, I think
we picked the Texans to win.
I'll do that.
I thought they put up 30. I thought that Houston would put up 30.
Yeah, you
and
called it.
Hey, look, they scored twice. They scored 2 touchdowns on opening drive.
Yeah. And I looked at that. I said, oh,
First
man.
play, 77 yards.
That
called
was
back.
then they had Nico Collins striking down the sidelines. First play of the game. They got lucky with the call back, legal man downfield. But after that, you just saw it.
Then they just went down the field and ran a 45-yard touchdown by Joe Mixon. So it's like 2 touchdowns on one drive, and that's to start the game. And you're just like, oh, wow.
Oh, baby.
Okay.
Oh, baby.
And look, we saw Atlanta handle the Cowboys.
Yeah, they did.
But then last Sunday, we saw Denver beat up Atlanta.
Yes, they did do that.
And so somebody was telling me, hey, man, I think the Cowboys can be in this game against Houston. I was like, look, we saw with Atlanta, a team that's kind of mediocre or may just make the playoffs is handling the Cowboys. So you don't have to be a great team to handle a bad team.
That's true.
And Houston, C.J. Stroud did not have a good game
At all.
as a quarterback. He didn't have a good game. And you saw what happened. That first drive alone, first play, bam, we got you. Oh, you stopped? It's okay. We're just going to keep on going. Got a 45-yard touchdown. And Homeboy just running through holes.
Yeah.
Man, you're just watching Barry.
It was
defensively,
ugly,
man.
And that's the reason I thought maybe, just maybe, a slice of hopium for the Cowboys here, because I saw what they were able to do against Philly. And that offensive line for Philly was way better. It was one of the top 3 offensive lines in the National Football League. So I thought the Cowboys defensively, Micah Parsons would be able to put his stamp on this type of game. Because when you look at what Houston was able to do offensively with their offensive line, they're the second worst or third worst as far as giving up sacks in the National Football League. So I'm thinking, okay, that might give them a slight chance to do something to C.J. Stroud and keep this offense kind of in check. But you didn't see it at all. The whole entire game, even though C.J. didn't have a great game, he looked cool, calm, and collected in that pocket the entire game. Like, it didn't seem to me like he was under duress at all. And he was able to hit all of his targets. When you talk about Nico Collins, Tank Dell, Schultz was out there. They were trying to get Schultz in the end zone. You saw that. They were trying to get him in the end zone.
Yes.
And then you mirror that with a balance like Joe Mixon. Mixon. It's going to be tough, to defeat that type of team when you can't shut down one aspect of it. Defensively, you got to go into these games thinking, okay, they're not going to get the ground and the pass. One of these things is going to have to get controlled, have to get shut down. But as we see, man, Joe Mixon over 100 yards, 3 tubs. And then C.J.
109
Stroud,
yards.
Well, C.J. Stroud was just able to dice apart their secondary as the game went on. It was just another game where you saw the flaws of this team as an organization and as a team out there show its ugly head. And it's just, you see this happening game after game after game with the Dallas Cowboys. And I saw an interesting stat, man, and I couldn't believe it. It blew my mind. But, out of all the games at AT&T Stadium so far this season, the Saints have scored the most touchdowns in that stadium, not the Cowboys. And the Cowboys have had 5-6 games there. It's mind blowing.
Is it?
It's a complete 180 from last year. Last year there was a home field advantage. You couldn't step into AT&T Stadium and get a dub, and then boom.
Go back to last week's show when we were talking about what all was lost in that playoff game against Green Bay. We talked about souls getting taken away.
Yeah.
And that's not a real exaggeration. The soul was taken away because this team is nothing like last year's. They have not won a game in 2024 in their own building.
It's tough. And to me, we talk about the big elephant in the room with the defensive line and people just running up and down the field on the Dallas Cowboys. But that might slide down the priority list for me going into next season because this offensive line looks atrocious. It does. And you have a guy back there in Dak Prescott who's going to be this franchise quarterback for the foreseeable future. He's not going to be able to do much if he's behind that type of offensive line going forward. I mean, it was rough out there.
So first off, I hear you.
Yeah.
But where you fall in the draft will dictate.
That's true.
What you do.
That's true.
If you've got a blue chip player that's sitting here that's not a quarterback, because you're not taking
it ain't like.
Okay? You're not taking the quarterback. You got Dak, $231 million guaranteed. He's here. So anybody who's thinking about a
and there's
quarterback,
no trade clause, right? He has no trade clause.
He's got a no trade clause. But even if he did, you trade him. It's like I guess somebody told me like $81 million dead cap. So he's here. He's here, and you're there with him.
Yeah.
So a guy if you watch any college football, you know the name Travis Hunter.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Wide receiver, defensive back for Colorado, Heisman Trophy, should be a Heisman Trophy finalist, if not win the thing.
Yeah, he's doing his thing.
If a guy like that is sitting there, Jerry Jones is going to take him.
You think he would take that? I mean, I understand that Hunter is talented amongst, he's one of the best in college football right now. But do you think he would get this team, like all the holes this team has? That would be one of the,
Is wide receiver a hole?
It is.
Okay.
It is.
Okay. So CeeDee Lamb, yes, he's there. But what do we say? Clarence Hill always says it. Also, I'll say that. CeeDee and the maybes.
The maybes, yeah.
Okay. So as a wide receiver, if Travis Hunter, he can help you. Quarterback?
Yeah, but you got Bland coming back. You got Bland, Diggs.
Do we? How long we been hearing that, huh?
Blanchard. Huh? Bland will be back, man. He'll be back. He'll be back. You got Diggs.
Right, so Jordan Lewis is up, right?
Yeah, he'll be up.
Okay, so in this league, it's not like you can't use some more DBs.
No, you can never have as many. You can never have enough cover.
So Travis Hunter fits in terms of you've got spots. Mm-hmm. Okay, it's not like you got. Hey man, we got Revis Island out here. We good? No, you need help in this league. Yeah. So in this league and the receivers in this division. You need more than one healthy one.
Yeah, because every team got a guy, especially in this division.
Philly's got two guys.
Philly's got two. Washington's Terry, the neighbor's kid from New York. I think he's going to develop into something good. So each one of these NFC East teams, they got a guy, man. They got a guy.
Okay. So, but that also fills a couple things too. What does he bring that Jerry likes?
Well, he started. Yeah, he brings that charisma, that sizzle. Okay. Yeah.
Right. Tyler Guyton didn't sell no jerseys.
No.
Nobody was running out there trying to get those 60 jerseys, and so when you say offensive line,
it's gotta be
let's have an honest conversation, okay? Not trying to beat up anybody, but having an honest conversation. Yeah. Week by week, with his performance, Terrence Steele is putting his job in jeopardy.
Big time. He's giving up multiple sacks in multiple weeks.
Danielle Hunter had a field day.
Another guy.
They're making Pro Bowl numbers on Terrence Steele.
Guy looking like Chaz Green. We being real. I mean, he ain't giving up the six, but he's there.
So when you talk about that, all right, when you say O-line, depending on where they're at in the draft. So you got a real blue chip guy if you're drafting up here in this top 10 the way they're going right now. I think so. Do you say, all right, Steele, we either need some money back or be here? And do you take Guyton and put him from left to right, and then you take a left? I mean, you're going to have an ability to try and do something depending on where you're at. So when you say O-line, because if you're drafting that high, you'll take a left type tackle. You're going to take if you're top 10.
Yeah, I got you.
So if you're talking O-line at the top 10, you're not going to draft a center in the top 10.
No, that's not going to. No.
So that's. And I'm thinking, like, where's the fit if you do something like that?
What's Richard's? Austin. I think he played left tackle, but is he one of those flexible guys that can go all over the offensive line? Throw his big butt on the right side.
Here's the thing about him: he's going to be on the team.
Yeah, because he showed he has some promise to him. The snaps he was able to get.
Whether he starts or he's your swing, here's a guy with the future for your football team.
I agree with that.
Okay, so at worst, Austin Richards is a swing tackle for you. So draft-wise, I'm sorry. I'm still of the belief they need to go address it up front. I mean,
man, they going
Houston didn't even have a good game last night and still ran up 109 yards from Mixon, and then as a team, okay, just checking here on your notes, as a team, but they have $140.
Yeah, because Stroud gave you some out of the backfield.
Okay, 25 carries, 141 yards, 5.6 yard average. For 3 years, you've not been able to stop the run as a football team.
That's true.
And if you're going to be in a league a division where there's Saquon Barkley in Philadelphia, okay, Washington's got a nice run game. At some point in time, maybe New York addresses it, but still, overall, to win in this league, if the Lions look like they're going to be a team that's going to be around for you. They can run the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Green Bay can run the ball. Down year for San Francisco, but still, they can run the ball. Arizona's lead the West. They got James Conner. He's already proven he could run against you last year.
Saquon, I mean.
So just, when you start talking about, hey, how do we win our division and try to even get, compete in the NFC, you got to stop the run. And right now, the blueprint is there. You want to play the Cowboys? Run the ball.
My thing is, we always talk about trust, time, proof, and consistency, right? Do we have the trust that this front office can be able to find the type of defensive tackle that we're looking for to plug up the run? Because the time, it's there. The Mozies, the Tacos. Yes, you hit on a Micah Parsons, but Cats didn't know if he was a linebacker or a defensive end. Right. Cats didn't know. But we do know this front office knows how to pick offensive linemen. From Frederick to Zach to Tyron to Tyler. Like, we know they know how to get that thing right.
Sure. But and once again, and I go back, if you're drafting in the top 10, you probably are not taking a defensive tackle.
You can't.
Unless it's a Darryl Russell type of guy, when I remember when he came out of USC.
Sue or something like that.
Unless you got Dominican Sue, yes. And so that's you're more apt to probably look to take somebody who's a defensive end.
Yeah, somebody can get after the pass.
Right. So it's just going to be interesting as they keep playing this type of football. You're talking about a top 10 draft pick, and then where do you go with that? But there's needs on every level. Okay, there's needs at offensive line. There are needs at wide receiver. There are needs at running back. There's needs on the D line. There's linebacker. Right. You go up and down.
There's a lot of holes in this roster, man.
It's a lot of holes here, and you need to find someone who can help you with holes.
Yeah.
To fill them, and if anything, you would hope that you could find some quarterbacks that have great off-season workouts that can shoot up the charts and get in there and drop some players to you. But
that's, man,
dude, it's an issue. And last night was just kind of another one of those things. But you're right about the offensive line; it's a problem. Zach Martin had 2 ankle injuries. He wasn't good yesterday in terms of being healthy.
He was fighting, but you could tell, man. It was tough.
At this point in time, I would plan my roster as though he was not going to be there next year.
Yeah, I think, and I haven't spoken to Zach, anything like that, but just from what I see, from when you start, the off season, when you start hearing, things here and there about guys, hey, this might be it, hey, I don't know, we'll see. When you get that we'll see type mentality from guys, it's already in the back of your mind. When it's already in the back of your mind, you're halfway checked out. So I would, I ain't saying I would bet the farm on it, but I'm pretty sure, man. This is probably the last go for Mr. Martin out there.
You're a former player, so you have the idea. You've been around. You've seen it happen. I'm thinking in terms of if I'm a general manager, if I'm a front office guy, that's already in my head.
Yeah.
Hey, let's plan that he's not here.
Yeah. Because even if let's just say he finds the fountain of youth and he's like, you know what, I want to come back. If you're in the front office, you got to say, hey, this can't happen. We've seen it happen with so many players here in Dallas where it's like, nah, but he's our guy, so let's give him a couple more years. And then it ends up being that kind of blockage for young guys that are trying to come up and develop. I mean, we've seen it happen time and time again with guys out here. So if you're, like you said, if you're in that front office, you got it in your mind and think, even if he says, I want to come back, you got to say, hey, man, same thing you did to Tyron Smith. Thank you for the services.
I'll also go back and look into this thing too, and this is going to be a very interesting thing about how they go forward. Cooper Beebe, rookie center out of Kansas State, never played center before. Unfair, in my opinion, to really judge him and just say, hey, he's this, he's that. This is a tough thing they threw him into. But he was an outstanding All-American guard at K-State. Mm-hmm. If you found a center in the draft that said, hey, man, this guy's been doing here, we want that guy, and you want to kick him over to right guard since you're going to play him without Zach Martin, those are things, when I think about just roster building, those are things that I think about. Because you're right in terms of how do you go about fixing this? Mm-hmm. If Cooper Beebe was a sensational guard, maybe he could be a better guy. Now, some people say, well, he's short. McCarthy talked one day where they thought, he fit more center. Mm-hmm. So, that's where the front office has got to go ahead and do their due diligence about what they feel. There's just a lot of moving parts here, man. And if anybody, whoever is the coaching the team next year is going to have to look at this roster and say, okay, where do I see fits? As a general manager, Jerry Jones and his son Steven and Will McClay, they're going to have the Terrence Steele question. You got to have the Terrence Steele conversation. You got to have the Zach Martin conversation.
Got to.
You may even need to have a Tyler Smith conversation.
About where you put him as far. Yeah.
Do you go from left guard? Say, man, if you let's say you steal. No, we're gonna end this, and you put Guyton at right. Do you want to say Austin Richards go left tackle, or do you want to say Tyler Smith go left? I mean, these are conversations that when you talk about rebuilding that line, these are questions that you got to start to ask yourself.
And if Zach Martin can't go, is there a situation where you say, all right, man, let's see what BB got at guard? And you got a Hoffman right there. They're gonna steadfast and let him get developed as a center.
You know what? I would give him the whole season.
Okay.
Let him keep developing. See what you have.
Okay.
See what you have, because then you're asking him to go do something he hadn't done all year.
That's true.
I mean, go play some guard. You haven't done that all season long. I would just say at this point in time, let the young man finish and see exactly what it is you have after the year. And then the coaching staff, there's a new coaching staff in here, which that's what we're led to believe at this point in time. There'll be a new O-line coach.
Yeah.
How do they go about it? And then what does Will McClay and everyone else say about what goes forward here? After 10 games, you're 3-7.
Not good. Not a good place to be.
So you need to just start to say to yourself, hey, let's look at this roster and see what we can do going forward. Let's take our first break in here. There was one number that stood out to me last night, and I just said, this can't happen again. This can't happen again the rest of the year. It cannot happen again.
I think I know where you're going with it.
Yes. He's Barry Church. I'm Newy Scruggs. This is the Players Lounge brought to you by Aristocrat Gaming on DallasCowboys.com.
Hey there, Cowboys Nation. Kyle Yeomans here, sharing that same team that brought you Buffalo, bringing NFL casino games that show America's team on and off the reels. Aristocrat is changing the game with a new experience. Football fans, this means you can pick your team and play your team. Check out the Cowboys-themed casino games developed by Aristocrat, a proud sponsor of the Dallas Cowboys. Gambling problem? Please contact the U.S. National Problem Gambling Helpline at 1-800-GAMBLER. That's 1-800-GAMBLER for 21 and over.
Hey, Cowboy fans, I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. But lately, I've been learning a new game, crypto. Sound confusing? Don't worry, even us pros were rookies in crypto once. That's why I trust blockchain.com. They make crypto easy. No confusing jargon, just the tools to help you win.
Prescott keeps it, slides with a first down.
Invest like your icons, where everyone is a rookie in crypto with blockchain.com.
Perfect throw, my goodness. Wow, did he ever thread the needle?
Visit blockchain.com/Cowboys to get started.
It's the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys, Jack Black. And right now, Cowboys fans can get 15% off their $75 order. Plus, because every deal needs a playmaker, your order will include a free 5-piece skincare set and free shipping. The Jack Black Playmaker is 4 of Jack's favorites and a full-sized intense therapy lip balm. Make a play for the playmaker at getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP. That's getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP.
Are you the 2024 Dallas Cowboys Fan of the Year? The Dallas Cowboys and Captain Morgan are celebrating extraordinary, inspiring, and original fans. Nominate yourself or the biggest Cowboys fan you know for a chance to be named the 2024 Fan of the Year and win prizes, including a trip to Super Bowl 59. Visit DallasCowboys.com/Fan of the Year. Go Cowboys! Back to the Players Lounge.
Players Lounge, brought to you by Aristocrat Gaming right here on DallasCowboys.com. We're here in Frisco at the SWBC podcast studio. He is former Cowboys safety Barry Church. I'm Newy Scruggs. All right, here's the number that I saw yesterday that I said cannot happen again. Number is 55.
Yeah, that's a high number, my man.
Cooper Rush threw the ball 55 times. No.
That's not it.
No, that is not the way.
And it's never been his game. Even when he had that nice streak, 4-1, back when Prescott was injured, it was never his game to just go back there and let him rip. Like, he was never the gunslinger, Brett Favre type guy. He was the guy that thrived on balance. Thrived on, let me get this play action developing a little bit. And granted, I understand, those years ago they had Pollard, they had Zeke, and they was rolling, with the balance as far as run pass was considered. But this year, I mean, when you look at it, even though Rico, he's not going to wow you with his ability to run the football, you got to be able to keep that defense honest. And when you throw the ball 55 times, that invites guys like Danielle Hunter, those guys on that defensive line for the Houston Texans to just pin their ears back and get after you guys. And especially when we saw how this offensive line was playing as of late, it's kind of like setting your guys up, man. And that's exactly what happened, because they were eating steel alive out there. I mean, Guyton, he had his fair share of struggles. Zach Martin had his fair share of struggles as well. And I don't understand what's going on with these offensive linemen wanting to pick the football up and think they running backs again. I mean, this is the second week in a row my guy tried to scoop and score, and I'm like, man, just fall on it. Just fall on the football, brother. He ended up getting popped. Next thing you know, we got D linemen high stepping into the end zone.
I don't think I've seen that since high school, where a guy got charged with giving up a sack and a fumble all in the same play.
The same play.
And a touchdown ensued off of it. Yeah, that's wild, man. That's high school type stuff.
Just get down, brother. Get down.
And then Guyton left the game with a shoulder injury.
Yeah, he did.
It has been a real rough year for him.
It's tough.
He was a project coming in, and so many people wanted to give the Cowboys the benefit of the doubt to say, oh, hey, look, you brought in Tyler Smith out of Tulsa, and look what you did with him.
He was a project guy supposedly too, right? He was supposed to be a project guy.
But who did he play next year?
That is very true.
Played next to all-decade player
yeah.
in Tyron Smith. So you had that.
That's true.
You were also inside.
Yeah.
You weren't at left tackle in the NFL.
You weren't on the island.
First place schedule with the murderer's row of players.
Man, that confidence, and it's so, you have to, as a young player, especially as a rookie starting, you got to have your confidence, building as the season goes. To go through that gauntlet of guys that we talked about at the beginning, you had the T.J. Watts. I mean, you had the Myles Garretts, the Bosa's.
Baltimore, man, going up against Detroit. I mean, it was a lot.
Yeah.
And so, not just one, but two starting offensive linemen in arguably the most two critical positions on the line. Left tackle and center. Yeah. But 55 passes for Cooper Rush versus, you talk about for the Cowboys, they had 18 carries, but take away Cooper Rush's 2, okay?
Mm-hmm.
That's 16 carries. Rico Dowdle carried the ball 10 times for 28 yards. He was supposed to be the starting runner. 2.8 yards a carry, man.
He said it's his job to get Rico more involved, and that's not doing it, man.
CeeDee Lamb had 1 carry. So it was really 15 carries. Take it away, because Cooper Rush had 1, and then CeeDee Lamb had 1. Deuce Vaughn had 4 carries for 13 yards, and Ezekiel Elliott had 1 carry.
That's not going to get it done. Especially that's not Dak Prescott out there. And even with Dak out there, the 55 times is like, man, what are we doing out here?
This is a recipe for losing.
Yes, it is.
Okay? This is just a recipe for 55 times. And I'm not, some people want to get mad at Cooper Rush. I'm like, guys, Why are you mad at a player for being who the player is?
Yeah.
Cooper Rush is a backup quarterback for a reason.
That's facts.
We thought he was a backup quarterback who understood what they needed to do. But just overall, man, this is not good.
No, it ain't, man.
This is not good. But they didn't run the football enough. Jacksonville, who got blasted, your old team, 52-6, they ran the ball more in their loss. They ran it 17 times for 41 yards, bro.
And to me, it's like, man, you would think not only, to help your offense get the balance, all that good stuff, keep Houston from pinning their ears back, but to save your own defense as well. I mean, you see, it's going to be tough for them to hold up against to what Houston was able to do out there, passing the ball, running the ball. You would think, all right, we need to get this time of possession. We need to, get some win early on first down, make these third downs more manageable. But time and time again, we saw with all these passes and the offense for the Dallas Cowboys, it was more like 3rd and 8 to 10s, 3rd and 12s that you're already behind the sticks. So it's just it's frustrating.
I go back into this point for fans, for football fans who may not understand. And you get this because you're a defensive player. When you run the ball, you're also running the clock. Mm-hmm. When you throw the ball and it's an incomplete pass, the clock stops.
It's over.
And so if you're in a football game where you're sitting out here and you're doing a whole bunch of 3 and outs, and you're just throwing the ball in those incomplete passes, or even somebody goes out of bounds, you're asking the defense to basically get back on the field real quick, and that's tough. That's a tough turnaround. And we go back to the Cowboys losing the time of possession. You go back here and you look at it, they lost time of possession yesterday. So you've lost the turnover battle again, and you've lost time of possession.
Recipe for now.
And while it was kind of even, Houston had it for 30 minutes and 37 seconds, and you had it for 29 minutes and 23 seconds, you're still losing it.
Oh, yeah.
You're still losing that, and just the 55 attempts, man. And so Cooper was 55 attempts here, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. His quarterback rating wasn't good.
No,
it wasn't a good quarterback rating, and it's so 37 to 55.
That's just not going to get it.
That's not getting it. You're also said you're 32. I said 32 of 55. So half of those you're not completing. You're stopping the clock. You're keeping the D out there.
I'll tell you, as a defender, man, that's like one of the worst feelings you can have is when, all right, man, we got a good stop. We're coming to the sidelines. You pop your helmet off. You get a little splash of water, splash of Gatorade or whatever. You're getting ready to go through the adjustments. The coach is coming through. He's going to sit down next to the secondary and say, all right, this is what we're thinking about. This is how, we've had success against Houston doing this, or they've gotten us on this, so we got to be wary of this and that. And then you talking to your coach for about 15, 20 seconds, and the next thing you know, punt team ready.
I was about to say, and that's if you're not playing specials.
Exactly. If you're playing specials, you're like, hold on, we in the middle of the meeting. I got to go punt team ready. And 9 times out of 10, you look at that, what's the down and distance? Oh, yep, here we go. Might as well snap up and get ready. Like, that's a tough feeling to get, because just knowing, all right, as soon as I sit down and get this glass of water, I got to get back on the field. It's tough, man. I always say this is what reminded me in 2015 when we was going through all those quarterback changes and stuff. But Newy, if I'm being honest, this might be a little worse.
It is.
It might be worse.
It's interesting you say. I was just talking to David Moore of the Dallas Morning News before I came up, and he was talking to me and Nick Harris, and he talked about in 2015 that the losing streak is bigger here than it was. I think in 2015. It was, going back here, losing streak started against Atlanta. Mm-hmm. So it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7-game losing streak.
Before we snapped it?
Mm-hmm. Against a win against Miami. I think that was.
Oh, yeah. I think Romo had came back. And we played Miami. We beat Miami. We were going into Carolina, right? Was the next? We're like, yeah, we got this. We got a chance. And then, that's when, the Carolina was just Cam Newton MVP year. He was just, they were.
And that was under Jason. So you're coming here. You're coming down here. Bro. This is that. But once again, you 5 quarterbacks?
Yeah. We were down on 4th or 5th string. I just feel like we weren't, I got to check the scores, but I feel like we weren't getting just blown out each and every. There were some games where it was like, man.
So your quarterbacks were Castle, Romo, Moore, and Wheaton that year.
Yeah, we got all the way down to the 4th string quarterback,
So
man. And that's tough.
So
man.
you had that there. Here you're going through Dak, and then you got Cooper Rush, and there was hope for Cooper Rush. But as I said to people, as a quarterback, not a magician. You've got so many issues going on.
And that's the thing. Everybody goes back to, he went, 4-1. The team was different. The O-line was young. You had a running game. Receivers, was Cooper still here?
Had help.
Yeah, he had help.
Yeah, it helped.
He went up to Minnesota and put a 40 on them. Everybody there.
On Halloween night. Yeah, you're right. 300-yard game. No, you're right. Look.
Defense was flying around, taking the football away. It's a different opportunity here.
And now you've got Cooper Rush. I think they dropped four interceptions yesterday.
Oh, Stingley should have had 3 by himself.
Right. They dropped 4. You got him bobbling two snaps. You've got him throwing a pick. I mean, it's. And I'm not blaming Cooper Rush. Like, it's hit. No. This is a combination of the problem. But to me, what it should settle, and we spoke about this a little bit in the last game. You know what he is now. Yeah. Okay? And Jerry said afterwards, well, Cooper Rush gives us the best opportunity to win. At this point in time,
I can't believe it.
You're a player, but you tell me this.
Oh, it's time to, because early on when I was saying you can't go to Trey, I was saying it's going to be hard for that locker room because then you're already as a player, some guys are on 1-year deals and they're thinking, oh, man, well, if we're punting on the season, where does that leave me? So I'm saying you couldn't put him in at that time because you would definitely lose the locker room. But after watching these past 2 games, one game the man had 45 yards. This game, he had a couple garbage stats, but overall he's just not performing the way that to give this team at least a fighting chance. He's just not performing that well now. So I believe the guys in the locker room, you're going to see a lot of guys, those 1-year guys that have maybe 1 year left on their contract, whatever the case may be. They're going to start saying, I got to put up some good tape. I got to make sure I get mines. It's kind of selfish in that way, but you're going to start seeing that. And you got to see what you have in Lance at this point. I mean, because when you look at it, what else have you got to lose? You're 3-7 right now. You got to see what you have in Lance, and maybe, just maybe, he can at least give you a spark with his athleticism, something going forward. But you got to figure out what you got in guys like Trey Lance, Deuce, Mingo that you just got from that 4th round trade. You got to start figuring out what you got in those guys.
We'll take our final break. I'll give you a thought process of why I think Cooper Rush is going to get at least 2 more starts. Before you go to Trey Lance. We'll do that next right here. Players Lounge, brought to you by Aristocrat Gaming on DallasCowboys.com.
Hey, Danny McCray here for Smoothie King. You know every great workout deserves a great reward. So treat yourself right with new coconut smoothie bowls. Made with real fruit, crunchy, purely Elizabeth granola, creamy coconut, and topped with the chocolate hazelnut or honey drizzle. With 2 new flavors, it's perfect for you and the workout buddy. So you both can stay on track even after you leave the track. Scoop up new coconut smoothie bowls only at Smoothie King, the official smoothie of the Dallas Cowboys.
Hey y'all, Matt Pittman of Meat Church here. With football season kicking off, I'm already gearing up to bring the smoker back to AT&T Stadium for some epic tailgates. But with that Texas heat, it's crucial to keep my beer hand cramping cold. That's where Yeti's insulated Colster can cooler comes in clutch. This year, you can even get them with the iconic star engraved on the side. Licensed Yeti Cowboys gear is now available at Stadium Pro Shops, concessions, and on Yeti.com. Check it out today. Yeti, official cooler and drinkware of the Dallas Cowboys.
To kick off the 2024 NFL season, Boss teamed up with the Cowboys and Micah Parsons to launch an iconic apparel collection. The Boss Cowboys collection unites football and fashion while reflecting what it truly means to be a boss. Arriving just in time for the start of the season, the distinctive attire from the latest Boss Cowboys expansion offers sports aficionados and true bosses the chance to show their team spirit and style. Get yours today at nflshop.com/HugoBoss, HugoBoss.com, and Boss retail stores. # be your own boss.
Raising Cane's presents the other rules of football. Rule 1, any broadcast without the express edition of cook-to-order Cane's chicken fingers is prohibited. Rule 12, no crinkle-cut fries, Texas toast, or craveable Cane's sauce constitutes an illegal formation. And Rule 31, anybody who loves to feed their game face is an eligible receiver of Cane's. When it comes to winning game day, Cane's rules. Raising Cane's chicken fingers. One love. Go Cowboys.
to the Players Lounge.
Players Lounge brought to you by Aristocrat Gaming right here on DallasCowboys.com. Okay, so, Barry.
Yeah.
Here's just my thought.
Okay.
It's a short week. Late Monday. It's Tuesday. Players are off.
Already.
Wednesday, you got to get the game plan in here tomorrow. Walk in the building, get ready for Washington. So Cooper Rush starts.
So you're saying on a short week they don't want to throw Lance in there on a short week. Understandable.
Then you play Sunday at Washington.
Thursday.
Got another quick turnaround. Thanksgiving Day game.
Bam. See, I can see that. I can understand that. I just feel like he goes out there and let's just say the first half is what we've seen.
I guess, by the way, I forgot to do something.
You said what? You forgot?
Chris Beam, you tell us supposed to do these reads?
I think we were.
Okay.
We were in there going straight through it.
Stay connected with the Dallas Cowboys on your connected TV. Catch up on all the Cowboys content like player interviews, weekly TV shows, podcasts, docuseries like Deep Blue, and much more. Download the Cowboys app now on Amazon Fire, Roku, and Apple TV. Okay.
There you go. Pay some bills, baby.
There you go.
There it is, man.
As you were saying.
Yes, as I was saying. I can say if we see more of what Cooper Rush has been doing these past couple games, I just can't see how they would let him continue to go out there.
You got 2 games. Now, here's, and I go back to what I said before. If you want to start him, like last night, fine. But at some point in time, when you saw where this was going,
got pulling.
Make the call to the bullpen. Make the call. Go that AT&T call to the bullpen. Hey, Trey, come on in.
Yeah,
come on in, son.
Not even no packages. Like that's another thing I was like. Not even a package.
The punter had more of a package to throw the ball than Trey Lance.
Who's calling these? Like who is giving the go green light? Like you know what? Yes, 4th and 10, 4th and 9
on the first possession.
Our punter got it. He gonna dot him up. Who is calling? Like is it McCarthy? Is it Bones? Who's saying it's my go? We got this.
Special teams coordinator Bones Fossil will talk today about like 3:45. So we'll be able to ask him. He talked last week about, hey, we had a look and we thought hey, we thought it could have worked out, just didn't. And but he was like all confident, like, yeah, I think it was the right call. It didn't work out, but I believe in the call. So I just want to see one more time, man. You still drinking that? I believe it's the right call, man. I want to hear what he has to say.
Was he, like, you know what he's going to say? Oh man, they showed us a look that we prepared for, and we thought, we were going to be able to get it done. Man, what? I can see. And we were talking before, I could see if it was a 4th and 3, 4th and 4. But it was 4th and 9. You got defensive backs out there having to make people miss, making, going up top, catching the ball. These is defensive players. Or at least get a guy a two situation. Like, all right, if it's covered up, go ahead and punt it. Don't force it. My man caught that, thought he was Johnny Unitas.
I didn't get it. I mean, it just
what's going on?
This reminded me at the end of your boy in with Chargers last year, Staley, the head coach Brandon Staley. This reminded me, what are we doing?
What are we doing? Man?
What are we doing? Just looking at the football games, make that make sense. And I mean, so Bones will talk to. I'm sticking around for that.
And I don't think the game was out of hand at that point.
This is the first series, man. Out of hand. It was the first. I mean, you were down 7-0 because they scored 2 touchdowns on the opening drive, and luckily they only counted 1.
What are we doing?
But you're in your own part of the field. No. So, So McCarthy will talk today, the top of the hour, and
man. It's
or is it 3:40? And he's talking. McCarthy talks today. Then the coordinators are talking.
I gotta know who did.
So we'll hear exactly who did what and why. So
he was like, I'm gonna take this in my old hands.
I don't get it. I don't get it. But so based on the fact, and you've done this before as a player, the 3 games in 10 days. You're in the midst of this.
Yeah.
I mean, it's now it's even shorter week because you play Monday Night Football. You got to go to Washington.
Yeah.
After Washington, it's a Thursday game.
And it's an away game too for that.
Right, so you're going to Washington, then you're coming here. So Cooper Rush will get the start on Sunday. He'll get the start on Thanksgiving Day. Does he finish it?
I can't see it.
McCarthy even admitted, I should have got Trey Lance in yesterday. And I'm like,
all this after the fact
I'm
stuff,
like,
man.
you kind of had a choice in that, but
Yeah.
so
He didn't get it done, man.
I'm with you. You have to see what the young man has. We talked about this last week. Maybe he's got nothing, but you need to confirm it.
Yeah, or else or is why put the fourth on him? You gotta give something.
If I'm the general manager, I need to talk to the owner and tell the owner, stop trying to win games. What we need to do is look at 2025 and figure out what it is we have. Because Cooper Rush and Trey Lance are both up.
Yeah, but if you're McCarthy in that situation, are you like, man, I can't prepare for 25 because I may not be here in 25. So are you still trying to figure? Is he saying I gotta try my best to win these games?
Look, once again, Jerry said Cooper Rush gives them the best chance to win. He said start. He was going to start him. So okay, fine. Sunday in Washington, he'll start. If you continue to do what you've been doing and you find yourself down 20. Then you don't need to come up here and watch Cooper Rush throw 55 passes.
I can't see that. And and Dan Quinn, you think Dan Quinn gonna take? I don't know, man. I don't see Dan Quinn punishing them like that. He might pull the dogs off a little early, man. I don't know.
It's a rivalry game.
It is.
It means something to them. I tell you who won't go easy on him. Joe Witt Jr., defensive coordinator.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Tell you that right now.
Yeah, Thorns.
I'm telling you right now.
Fowler and the crew, they not gonna go easy.
Right. I'm not sitting up here trying to give you no mulligans. Oh, you didn't want to pay, huh?
Yeah, I want to.
Oh, yeah. Couldn't get that bread, huh?
And Dallas has been beating up on the Commanders, so it's like, hey.
Dallas week.
Oh,
it's
man.
Dallas week. I already got a phone call, man. My boy up there at NBC. Hey, man, I need to get you on the Zoom. I don't need to talk to you, but fine. I'll go on your show, but I'm not even putting you on mine because got other stuff to talk about.
Man, this is bad.
This is bad. It's a problem. Get to Micah Parsons in a minute, but let me go ahead and knock this out right here. 'Tis the season for youth football and dance camps presented by Invisalign. Don't miss your chance to learn from the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders at dance camps on December 27th and former NFL players at football camps on December 23rd and 27th. Celebrate the holidays with the Cowboys. Register today at dallascowboys.com/camps. All right, Players Lounge brought to you by Aristocrat Gaming here. Micah Parsons left the locker room yesterday, and he said he was not talking to the media. Micah skipped his media availability this past week. He said he was upset because he says the media twisted his words. Go back to where he was talking about, asked about Mike McCarthy, and then he dove it into Zach Martin and said Zach Martin's done way more than Mike McCarthy ever did. And then Mike McCarthy told the media, I went and talked to him and we talked as men. So that lets you know McCarthy was mad about it. He got tore up on ESPN. Mike got tore up on a lot of places. Some people defended him, but he clearly was bothered by what people were saying. And then he goes on and says, no, I'm a podcast. I wasn't trying to besmirch Mike's name. And so he decided I wasn't talking to the media. So you didn't talk last week. You didn't talk after the game. If he doesn't talk this week, you know how much it's going to cost him, right?
Oh, it's going to cost him. It's going to cost him.
$25,000. That talking to the media.
Not talking to the media?
Yes. This is a part of your NFL contract as a player that you must talk to the media.
Just go up there and you don't have to have this, passionate speech or passionate opinion about it. You can just go up there and hit him with the Marshawn. Just be like, hey, it happened this way. Yeah. One word answers.
I'm here so I don't get fined.
Exactly. You ain't got to have this, big ordeal every time you step to the podium. But he put himself in these type of situations. I mean, how you mad at other people? This is the type of stuff you put out there. You put out the Dak not in your top 5 situation. You put out the doing this for Zach Martin because McCarthy, he's done more work than McCarthy's ever done. You did these situations, man. You have no one else to blame. The media, people twisting my words here and there. Don't say those words. I mean,
What'd I tell you? Man?
What is going on in these streets, man?
There's 2 ways to approach it. One, he could just sit up here and just, see, I would come. So he's got the podcast.
Yeah.
Do the podcast. There's 2 ways I would tell Micah. All right, if you really, really don't want to do this and you want to save yourself $25,000.
That's a lot of bread.
I'm going to print out everything you said on the podcast. And if somebody says something, hold on, get my notes. As I said yesterday on the podcast.
Yeah, it is.
Also, what do I say here all the time?
Oh, yeah, you got to start quoting it.
If you want people to turn away, start quoting the Bible. In Hebrews chapter 11, talks about being unshakable. Do you see what we have here? You can, dude. You start doing that.
Cats will start turning away.
Turn away, and you can fill up whatever time you have to, man. I'm telling you, I could sit up here, man. I could coach some players.
You should.
I could be a good PR guy. Hey, man. Look right here. I got you 4 verses from the Old Testament, from the New Testament. You can run out here with right here, man.
You don't want to talk.
Preach to him. Go preach.
Newy School of Media, man. You should make that your business.
Brother, you said that about me, but I'm going to forgive you. Here, John. Book of John told me why I don't need to be mad at you. I mean, dude, you could. Hey.
If that's what you really want. But I don't know if he really wants that, though.
You asked that, but I want to go to something I said on the podcast last night when I talked about what our defensive effort needs to be, where I said an exact quote, please quote me now, to save yourself $25,000, I don't care who you are. Micah said, I'll pay the fine. That's $25,000.
That's 25 G's. Like, why? When you could easily just either do what you said or hit him with the Marshawn Lynch. There's no reason.
I saw his daughter at the State Fair, Texas. Beautiful little girl. Mm-hmm. Man, before I give the NFL $25,000 for not talking, I'll put that 25 and a 529 from her college fund. You better believe it. I'm not giving up $25,000.
Not on duty. Not on duty. I wouldn't do it.
Or you could even flip it back. Okay, so Saad Youssef from The Athletic asked a question. I don't know, Saad, what would you do? You tell me what you're seeing. Let me. So you start flipping it back and you ask the questions. Mm-hmm. Then, hey, there's my time.
Time's up. Time to go.
There are
saving 25 stacks.
There are so many ways you could go into that. So many different things that you could do to save yourself some $25,000.
Get some of these young players rolling.
But I would not sit up here and give 25 G's. No. Hey, even if you took 25 G's and you wanted to go give it to a Thanksgiving charity or something, but I would not just sit around here and give it because you don't want to talk to the local media. I just would not do it. All right, that's the Players Lounge brought to you by Aristocrat Gaming. Thank you, Chris Beam, who worked super hard last night out at the game yesterday. Yeah. He's here bright this morning, getting everything done. Joshy Jazz, everybody makes things happen. He's Barry Church, former Cowboy safety. I'm Newy Scruggs. Hek'ma Harrison will join us tomorrow right here on the Players Lounge, brought to you by Aristocrat Gaming on DallasCowboys.com.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!